my name is Mew Fan, and I have the pleasure of speaking to Lea Tran. Now, who she is she's a keynote speaker, author, business skills coach, and she's a published author for the memoir, I Did Not Miss the Boat. She'll be talking at the Thrive in Business and Prosper in Life Summit from October 16 to 22nd. And her talk title is Cultivating Your Network to Build Your Net Worth on October 17 at 11:30 a.m. PST time. And she's also a TEDx Youth Assistant Head Coach. So welcome, Lea.
Hi, Mew.
Yeah, I have a few questions. Can I ask you a few questions?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
No problem. It's a pleasure to have you here. And so why is this title so important to you, Cultivating Your Network to Build Your Net Worth?
Well, yeah. So I learned this in the hard way because I know. After I get out of the corporate and I had my own business, which is a high-end custom window treatment, interior decorating business. And as much as I learned things in the trade, I was very timid about going out to tell people, to have a network that helped me promote what I do. And then at the time when I started my business about 2006, and by 2008, the market crashed. The housing market was like pretty much doomed. And I have to think either I'm going to fall with it or I'm going to have to fight it to get noticed. And that's where I learned at those times when there's not a whole lot of people are calling, I utilize that time to learn how to public speaking. And by public speaking, it's going out, building a network. I went out and associate with a lot of B2B, and I went out, joined all the networking groups just to get known. And when the market started picking up in 2009, 2010, slowly, I'm already out there. And those are the people who helped me revitalize my business because I took the time to go out and build my own network, and it become my net worth because people are advertising for me. And obviously you're not just rely on people to do it for you, right? You have to help them to do it for them too. So we collaborate, and it's such a strong force when you have a group of women who also are passionate about their business and helping each other. And those are my net worth. And I'm still friends with them nowadays. After I stepped out of the business for a while, I still get a lot of support from them, and we all grow together. So it's just a beautiful thing. And I want people to know that don't miss out. Don't keep yourself as a secret gem. You need to get out there, not boasting or blasting, but to offer, to make it awareness that people know what you're offering. And in return, help other people to promote their business. So it's called a network that eventually become my net worth. And I want people not to miss out those opportunities to build their own golden opportunity to get themselves out there.
Well, I have to commend you when during tough times you didn't quit.
Nope.
Because you're like, I've never experienced a housing market crash. The world's going to be in a doomsday for a while. And then instead of just quitting, you actually, strapped yourself together and really grew. And I just wanted to let everybody know, when I was looking for speakers for the summit that she's going to be talking at, Lea is one of those people who gave me a lot of valuable leads. And the thing about having a network and having Lea included is it takes off a lot of burden.
Yes, that's the beauty of it. I love the part that I pride myself as being a community builder, because you listen and you know what people are doing, and then you listen what other people are needing it. And what you do is being a connector. you make the bridge between the two people. And when everybody wins, they remember you. Oh, I got introduced by, Lee, and it makes me feel good. And eventually those become something that will return 10 times. When you do something for somebody, they remember. And somebody do something for me, I remember. And that's what networking is about. It's about helping each other. And
Yeah.
I'm so glad that some of those people that I sent to you and it worked
Yes.
out. So it's great.
Yeah, thank you so much. And not only that, not only do you advocate for strong network, because it really helped for you. I mean, you said 2009 when the market picked up, that's like 13 years ago. And you're still in connection with those people that 2006 is when you're like,
yeah, 2009 is actually the quiet year.
I'm going to fight it.
2009 actually was the year that I was signing up for Toastmasters, and I was going out like a mad woman. I was in every single women group that you can, and charity, like if people asking for donation, I would scrap my fabrics and put together, make beautiful pillows and table runners, and I would give to library, to mom's group,
Wow.
to school, to everyone. And some of those clients actually become one of my biggest net worth too. They advocate for me. They work so hard to help me. When I did their home, they would tell their neighbors, all around the neighbors, come see my house, what my designer does for me. And, it's everywhere you go, you just don't know who knows who. And that's my mantra, is always make friends and always help people out, and your name will be remembered. And I have a lot of story, but I will share that on my talk. So
I want to hear your story.
Monday. Come in on Monday and hear all the good
come to Lee's talk on October 17th at 11:30 a.m. PST time, which is 2:30 p.m. EST time. Now, I know not only do you advocate for making strong connection and, for networking, but you also really advocate for speaking. Can you say a bit about that?
Yes, absolutely. Because the speaking skill is so powerful. It's so mega important. If you be able to stand in front of a crowd and tell a story that is branded in your brand, people will remember a lot longer why you do and what you do. And I don't usually tell my product. I tell the result of what my product does for the people, and the story that my product had helped other people, and my own story. People want to know who you are before they can trust you. And you have to be willing to put yourself out there, because if you are not telling people who you are, I don't know you well enough to trust you, right? So trust is a huge factor in doing business. And it took me a long time to be comfortable to tell people who I really am and what I can help them. And don't just tell about your story, ask about their story. I mean, you learn so much from people who travel all over the world if you just open a dialogue and ask. And there's all an art to it. So now I'm coaching people how to craft their story and how to go out and make a succinct storytelling without feeling that you might stumble and fall and nervous. So it's all about practice too. I mean, there's a skill and there's a practice set. So they go hands in hand, and you will become so much more comfortable, and you feel like you're talking to a friend instead of talking to somebody stranger and nervous.
Yeah, and you actually, more than just tell people a story, you wrote a book about it called I Did Not Miss the Boat.
Well, I do have a lot of story, and I was bearing those stories for like 40 years, and I just could not wait. And like anytime, adversity creating a lot of opportunity. So 2008 was giving me that opportunity to learn how to speak, and 2020 gave me a lot of opportunity to stay home and write my story, because I have story that is oozing out of my body and I need to write it down somewhere. And I'm glad I did. Now I don't have to store them in my brain anymore. So they're in the book. And and the book is actually helping a lot of people who read it and who said that they want to go back and reconnect with their own roots and write their own story. And that's the most gratifying things for me, to hear about my life lesson have helped somebody to dig in their own trouble and get it out. Because you know what, we all have story that where we come from, and the story that we didn't think that is valuable, but indeed it is very valuable, until somebody who talked to you and say that, oh my goodness, your story have helped me this and this and this. And you say, oh, wow, it's worth the effort. It's not easy, but it's doable. So do it. You have a story to tell, write it or share it.
And your story is an example of like a really traumatic history in Vietnam. And one of the things I find, and even find myself in this situation, is that, hey, you know what? The people around me cannot relate to my story, but it doesn't matter. It's going to help someone.
It's just funny because that's how I used to think. And I didn't care about sharing because like, how could they relate? They've never been through that. I've have accountant with pirates on the sea, floating on the vessel that with 502 people on a boat that is not seaworthy. How can people relate to that? But amazingly, that people say that I took them to the journey that they thought they only can see it on the movie, but they actually know someone who's gone through that and read my book and say that they have walked with me every single step of the journey, and they appreciate what they have. For the longest time that they thought they need more, this and that. And now they appreciate the simple life that they have because they've seen the things that, I lived through the historical period. Seriously. I mean, it's the Vietnam War, and I'm sure you did too, Mil. You probably didn't remember, but
I do remember.
Yes. So there you go. We all have a story, and it's just a matter of open up and share it. So I'm glad that I did. And don't underestimate your powerful story. Just share it.
Yeah. So if you're anybody who wants to know how to craft an amazing story to build a relationship, Lea is the person. Now she's going to be talking on Thriving Business and Prosper in Life among a lot of amazing heavy hitters, just like Lea. We have speakers who, they charge us like $5, $10, and even thousands of dollars just to speak. And they're going to be showing us, show up all throughout the 7-day event. We have speakers who's been on national TV, radio stations, those big ones that we all know from, that have been around for decades. And we have speakers who are just from every walks of life, even people who've been an MD for 47 years to help you to deal with, we know Lea, she's a coach. Traumatic event can really affect our body. So we actually have medical professionals to really help us deal with changing times, because we are officially in a recession right now. Hopefully it's not as bad as like the housing market crash,
but it's the opportunity, right? I mean,
it is an opportunity. I'm like I can't find so what if the housing market, the change in the housing market is turning? Maybe I can get it for half price and I'll be in the receiving end of a major purchase. So our time is almost up. So Lea's talk is on October 17, 11:30 a.m. PST time. That is 2:30 EST time. Cultivating your network to build your net worth. Any final words before we go, Lea?
Well, come on in the next 7 days that Mil started. It's going to be phenomenal and you don't want to miss it. And there's so many golden nuggets that you will get. So pick and choose whatever relate to, or you don't have to. I mean, it's hard to attend all 7 days, I have to admit, but just, see whatever the topic that relevant to you and attend. And I would love to have you personally. And I am giving away something. So come on in, and that's just to help you to be out there in the public and not shy about it. So when you have a little bit of a formula, it's much easier to be out there. So come on in. I look forward to see all of you. And thank you again, Miel, for having me here. And you are doing a wonderful job. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Lee. And thank you for everyone for listening. And we will put a registration link for Lee somewhere, either in description or in the comments in Facebook or DM somewhere. So thank you so much for your time, Lee.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.